welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Elizabeth. I am so sorry that I am whispering, and I'm sorry for the lighting. Both my kids are sleeping. It's too noisy outside. So yeah, I have the big TV like right here with some ambience. I have like a little hatch light right there. My daughter is sleeping right here. That's her little bed. So yeah. Anyways, I am so sorry that I did not do a September wrap-up. I've been in a reading slump. Like I said in one of my last videos, starting the school year at a new school, I've kind of been drowning, starting to drown again, but that's okay. I'll survive. So I kind of been in a little bit of a reading slump. So in total for September and October, I only read 5 books in the last 2 months. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I wish that I would have read more. That's just me. But anyways, I'm here to talk about the 5 books that I did read in the last 2 months, and I have the help of my little reading journal because from September, I don't remember anything. She's still asleep. Okay, so the first one that I finished in September was How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong. Okay, I was looking at the rating. I gave this book a 4-star. It has a trigger warning kind of because it deals with grief. I'm not gonna say why, but you know, please do Google it because I don't wanna upset anyone, but do Google it. But I thought that it would focus more on the grief aspect than it did on the love story. Okay, so our main character, I think her name is Helen, I believe. Yes, Helen. She lost her sister. And everybody always blamed it on Graham. Is it Graham? I don't think it's with a G. Grant. I'm sorry, Grant. So everyone always blamed it on Grant. And then she always had like this hatred toward him because of him, her sister was no longer here. So as years pass by, she becomes an author, and one of her books is getting adapted, I believe, into a TV series. And then he's the director, or no, I'm sorry, he's the one that's writing the adaptation from the book to the TV series. So of course, they have to work together because they want her input to make sure that she's happy with what's being put out. So, How to End the Love Story, obviously, they got a love story, they reconnect, they get, back together. We're not back together, but they do get together. But she's Chinese, so I don't know if maybe it's a custom, but she feels that her parents won't approve because of who he is. Remember, he's the one that her sister is no longer here because of him. So I'm glad that we got to see or read his side of the story as to what happened with him and her sister. I felt there was kind of stupid reasons why they, like the third act conflict, I thought it was kind of stupid. Let me see what else I wrote. I was listening to it as well as reading it, so when I do that, I sometimes miss out on some details because I wrote that down. I wrote that I liked how she forgave him for something, and I'm not gonna say what that something is because I don't know if it's gonna be a spoiler or not. But I like how she forgave him for something. And then I know that it's very irrelevant. Her sister was younger than her, and I think when her sister passed, he was a senior in high school. So my question is, how old is she? Because I don't mind age gap, but I don't like it when she is older than him. That's a me problem. I know it's a me problem. My previous relationship, before I met my husband, I was, mind you, 11 months older than the guy, and he was just so mature. I was just like, oh no, I can't do this. So I know that it's a me problem. I don't like it when she is older than him. But that's just something that's been like sitting on the back of my brain, like how old is she compared to him? I think he was like 32 or something in the book. So it just made me wonder. Did I even write down how old he is? No. But he said 32. So he's like in his early 30s. So it makes me wonder, how old is she? Is she older? Is she the same age? If she is older, how much older? How much younger? Like I said, it's a me problem. It is a debut novel, so I didn't find it that bad. I think that when I read it, I really wasn't in the mood to read it either. So I'm telling you, I've been in a book slump for months. Anyways, I gave it a 4 star. It wasn't bad. The next 3 books that I did read are a series. It's a series that I had wanted to read for a while, and it's been adapted into a TV series by Netflix. I have not watched it. Not sure that I will. But it is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. The first one was really good. I ate it, I want to say, in 2 days. I didn't realize that it was a British series, which is fine. I don't mind, but I didn't realize that. So I gave the first book 4 stars. Okay, some of my notes were, I did not guess the ending at all. I loved how fast-paced everything was. I'm telling you. Oh, I started it. Okay, well, I guess I didn't read it as fast as I thought, but I started it supposedly on the 7th of September. No. Yes, September. And I finished it on the 13th. So less than a week. Which lately, considering that the other one took me about 2 weeks to read, that to me is pretty fast. So I put that I loved how fast-paced everything was. It really did keep me wanting and interested to read. I put, why did they do Barney like that? That's the only thing that actually bothered me. There was no need to do that to Barney. If you've read it, you know what I mean. You can do it to a person, but I'm sorry, not to Barney. Poor thing. I literally had to stop reading, put the book down, breathe, to then continue. Oh, another thing that I put was that I love how some parts were interview style. So of course, she's trying to investigate the murder of Sal, and I forgot the other girl's name, Andy Bell. So some of it were you would hear you would read the interview. For example, this. I don't know if you can really see it, but for example, this is Naomi, so this is the person she was interviewing, and then this is her. So you would see this or read this, and I kind of like that. I think it seemed this is another one that kept me super, super interested in reading. So I enjoyed that quite a bit. I gave that one a 4 star. And then after the events of the first book, of course, there needs to be a continuation. So I read Good Girl, Bad Blood. I started this one on the 13th and I finished it on the 27th. I put that there was a disconnect the first half of the book, and I don't know why. It took me a while to get into it and to be able to read it. And I said that it took me longer to get into it than the first one, and it could be because I honestly feel that the first one, it was great. It had a wonderful ending. The second one and the third one, I will admit, did not need to exist. It did not need to be a trilogy, did not need to be a series. It could have been a standalone, and it would have been wonderful as a standalone. As I got more into it, I put that I wasn't seeing the twists and turns that were coming. I put that a pet peeve of mine. I understand that these books are YA. That's fine. I went into it knowing that they're YA. But I feel that, and I don't know how to say it, but obviously teens are gonna curse like sailors, but I don't see the need in having to use such language. I teach 4th grade, and my students use that language. I call them out on it, and I do let the parents know. If you want to use that language at home because your parents allow it, fine, go ahead. It's between you and your parents. But in my classroom, you're not going to, do that. In high school, I can see it's different. They're almost adults, but it's I already have to hear it when I kind of don't want to hear it, so why do I got to read about it in books? That's just my little humble opinion. Why do I got to read about it? Oh, and then this one, I put here specifically the F word. So many times. Okay, so apparently it was more than once. So that made me wonder if this particular one was YA or if it went more to adults, maybe new adults. I don't know. And then this is where I realized that it took place in England, it's an English book. For some reason I didn't know this in the first book, but now it's more obvious. And then sometimes, I know I speak English obviously, but I know that the British words and the English words for certain things are different. So sometimes I had to okay, what's this? Oh, that's that. So that kind of threw me for a loop. I even forgot, honestly. Oh, this is the one where she started the podcast. And somebody else goes missing. It's her friend's brother that he goes missing. And then you start finding out more things. And then, of course, you're still involved with Andy in this book. Not so much Sal, but with Andy, you're still involved in this book. Now, obviously, after that one, because I cannot read books in between a series because then I forget everything that happens, I read the third one, which is As Good as Dead. Okay, the second one I gave 4 stars. Okay, this one I gave 4 stars as well, and it redeemed itself at the end, because oh my god, to me, this one really did not need to exist at all. Like, why? Like, honestly, why? I did not expect the ending, and it's so funny because it's like, one of the things that I was thinking, like, one of the detectives kind of told her, and it, like, that, I was thinking that. So let me see what some of my notes were. I put, how much evil can possibly live in one small town and be connected to everything. So now you're looking for somebody else. Now you're looking for, like, I don't want to say it because I spoil it, but you're looking for somebody. And that person is connected to Andy and connected to Sal and connected to just everything that's happened in the first 2 books. So it's like, if it's a small itty-bitty town, how can everything be so, like, connected and so much evil in one small place? I put that. I put what a struggle. It picked up for me at about the 25% in mark. Other than that, I was just like, it was a literal struggle. I remember that. I was texting a friend of mine, Emily, and I was just like, girl, why does this book exist? She's like, I don't know. I was asking myself that, and then it got better, and she was ready to get better. Oh, that's right. They're looking for the DT killer. That I will tell you. And I actually did end up kind of guessing who it was. So, yay me on that. Okay, I can't say the next thing that I wrote because it is a spoiler. And so is the last one. So the last one have to do with Pip and Ravi, which is Sal's brother from the first book. But they do end up, okay, spoiler, end up getting together in the first book and they become a couple. So they kind of like go through the next books and the next disappearances and the next mysteries as partners. You know, trying to figure things out. But I can't say those comments because I don't want it to be a spoiler, but I like the way the series ended because it was a surprise in a way. I don't know how Ravi could live with what he knows, same as Pip. I don't know how she can live with what she knows. I don't know if I would be able to. But I gave it a 4 stars. I believe I gave all 3 of them 4 stars. So overall, it was a 4-star series. I would recommend it. I have a friend who is currently watching the TV show, and she's liked it so far. I'm not sure she'll read the books, but she's liked the show so far. And then the last book. Okay, so I actually started that one at the end of September, and I finished it the 6th of October. And then I had Emily, my friend, pick out my next read. I showed her pictures of my shelves, which you can kind of see one over here, then there's another one like over there, whatever. And I sent her a picture. I'm like, okay, I am done with the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. Pick up my next read. So I can see why she picked up this one, because ever since she was my student, she's been obsessed with the male main character. And I finally did it. I read, yes, and it literally took me almost 20 days to read this. But I finally read Once Upon a Broken Heart. Yes, Once Upon a Broken Heart. I know you can't really see the cover, but the cover is stunning. It's like a light baby pink. And, oh. Okay, now the screen went to like a commercial from what I was watching, but whatever. You know, it's bigger than my head. I hadn't even noticed that. It is a YA. Like I was saying, the covers are really soft pink. As I read the book, it makes sense as to why the cover would be pink, because Evangeline, which is our female main character, I love her name, by the way. I would never name a daughter of mine now, but I love the name. But her hair has like a slight pink, it's like a slight pink tint to it. So I was like, oh, no wonder they made the cover pink. Like, I don't know, I thought it was cute that it would match with the cover and her hair. So I wrote down, I didn't even write down what my what my rating was. I think I gave it a 4-star. I would have to go onto my Goodreads, so give me some time to do that. But I did put that I am still in a reading slump, and I haven't been able to get out of it. I'm sorry, Emily, because I know that you watch these, but I really was not in the mood to read it when she picked it. But I'm like, you know what? I love her to death because I really do. She knows that. Okay, so yes, I gave it a 4-star. So I read it, and then of course I had to read the second one and then the third one. But either way, I put that I was glad that she picked it for me, because I could understand why she loves Jax, our male main character, so much. It's also a beautiful book, and it is off my shelves because I've had it for, I would say, about a year, or almost a year on my shelves, which isn't bad because if you've been here for a while, I've had books on my shelves for years, and I mean like maybe 10 years or more. I put that the light pink cover makes so much sense after reading the book. Many people say to read the Caraval series first. I mean, I can see why. I did read Caraval first. I can see why, because there's a slight spoiler in this one from the Caraval series, but to me it's not a big deal. Like that's just me. It's not a big deal. You're only spoiling one little thing, and it's about like it has something to do with Jax, but other than that, you're not really spoiling anything. And I did put that I love her name, even though I wouldn't use it for a daughter of mine. I mean, not that I plan on having any more kids, but if I ever did have a second daughter, I don't think I would ever name her Evangeline. But okay, so the premise of this book is that she met Jax because the love of her life was supposed to marry someone else. So she wanted to stop that wedding. So she made a deal with Jax, and he has come to collect. So he takes it to like the Magnificent North, which is where her mom is from. And there she meets Apollo, and she ends up getting married with him. So he's like the Prince of the North or whatever. But as you read, you find out that she is a key to something, to open like this arch, the Valor Arch, which is from the family of Valors. And there's something hidden in there. She has no idea what it is. She had no idea that she was a key. All she knows is that she has to work with Jax because he wants her to open up the arch. But he's very mysterious, and he doesn't tell her why or even what's in there. So it's kind of like that adventure. I did like it. After reading it, I did like it. Like I said, I'm still in a slump. So that's why I haven't been reading as much as I would. I'm sorry, I thought I heard my son crying, but no, he's not crying. Which is why I haven't been reading as much. But you know what? At least I'm reading. I'm getting there. I'm making a dent in my about 100 physical books on my TBR. So I'm gonna, I have another one that got here today, but that's okay. I really like this. So with the way that this one ended, I immediately had to jump into the second one, which I did. But I finished that one November 1st, I want to say. So you're just gonna have to stay tuned to see what my opinion was on the second book in the series, which is The Ballad of Never After. And then of course I finished that one, so now I'm currently on the third one. And I have to say, so far the third one I think is the one that's been keeping my interest the most. But I digress. That's a story for another day. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my video today. I'm sorry that it's late. I'm sorry that I didn't do a September wrap-up. Life has been kicking my butt. But we're reading, we're getting our physical TBR down, and that's all that matters. So in the comments, go ahead and comment if you've read any of the books that I read and the books that you have read and what you thought about them. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.